Hi everyone. So today I thought that I would just share a little bit about my journey here in Canada. I went to an ordination to the diaconate for one of our men from our church. I've posted the pictures I took as well as the link. If people want to watch, you can watch it at St. Mike's. And it was really beautiful. I've never been in St. Mike's before. I've never gone to a mass there or attended it, and it's quite spectacular. It was lovely to see it and to be part of it. And I sat kind of halfway down the church. I did have an invite to go, and I left quite early, but by the time I got there it was already full, so I didn't get to speak to Joanna, his wife, or Joelle, but I'll see them at church, so I'll congratulate them then. And it was nice of them to invite me. I'm part of the team that reads at church, and there were quite a few of us from our parish who were sitting close to each other, which was nice. I wasn't on my own. And I had also an invite to go to the service for Wilma, who was the Dean of Students at Regis, which was also today. And I decided to go to the ordination instead, because I thought about it and I thought, well, I saw Wilma when she was alive and happy, and we'll always be together at heart, but life goes on, and I'm sure Wilma would have wanted me to go to a life-giving service and to remember her in my prayers. They have this thing in Canada called choosing between two goods. So when you have two good things happening, how do you make your choice? And I had based this on Jesus' scripture where he calls the disciples, and there's a man that says, let me go home and bury my father. And Jesus says, once you put your hand to the plow, you can't turn back. Let the dead bury their own dead. So that's why I decided, while I'm alive and while I have life and breath, I'm going to do life-giving things. And I'm sure that Wilma is looking down on me, and she would probably be happy that I went to the ordination. It was very special for me, actually, because I know they open it to the public, but normally I don't go to these things unless I'm invited. The same way when I went to Justin Trudeau's town hall, I had told him, if he comes, if you invite me and you let me know, I'll come. But I don't just pitch up, I don't just turn up at things and go. So even with the political leaders, when I meet for them, whether it's for the One campaign or I write to them, it's always at the invitation of the church or at the invitation of One campaign that I'll set up those meetings and I'll go. If there's something, of course, of my personal nature that I feel is not just impacting me, but it's impacting thousands of other people, then I will take an initiative and I'll make a call or I will take a stand on it. And that's part of the faith journey as well. And today being Africa Day, I did pray for all of us in the diaspora who are here, who are living in Canada. Many of us are unemployed like me. We don't have jobs, we're broke, we don't have an income, and we're highly educated. So I prayed for all of us who have fled political persecutions, or our parents have told us not to return to Zimbabwe. In my case, it was my mother. That our lives would change, and that things would also change for the Africans who are there, who are on the African continent. We are all of all backgrounds, all races, all skin colors, of different languages, different religions. And I know that when the African leaders set up their political parties, they did it with the Pan-Africanism in mind, of being for the black people, because they were oppressed. But many of us were oppressed as well, of different backgrounds, Indians, the whites who fought for freedom, the Indians, the coloreds. So hopefully that will change over time, and Africa will become like other places where everybody is considered African or Canadian or Indian. I know you still get that discrimination here, where even though you're Canadian, they don't treat you the same way. And you'll find that people that come here from India get special treatment because they're coming from a democracy, whereas those of us who are coming from Zimbabwe or Africa, we still get treated like we're the little African girls or the little Indian African girls. We're not treated with that same respect and that same dignity. And we often get targeted like everybody else with romance scams, with employment scams, with messages saying, hey mom, I changed my number, please can you send me money, like all this kind of nonsense. There's whole videos out there about women who go from here, from Canada, white women. They're going to the airports and these young black guys are proposing to them. And because they're so lonely over here, they're just saying yes. And they're sending them thousands of dollars, and then they find out that they've been scammed. So, you know, these things happen here in Canada, and it's very frightening. It's very frustrating. But I pray for Africa, and I pray for our men who are called to the diaconate and our families. And hopefully this is the start of blessings on them and also on our families, because we don't get treated right. And, you know, in Zimbabwe, our business was ran into the ground. And the same thing is happening to me here. Like, no matter what I do, I can't come up. I can't get a break. Every time I stabilize and I get my confidence back and I start performing well and winning the awards and I'm next in line to get that goal or supervisor role or the big break or an increase in wages, I get let go or the business is pulled. So, you know, it's very frustrating for me and it's very disappointing. But I keep sending out my applications and I hope that I get work soon, because I really don't like living this way. And I don't like having to ask people for money or take money from people. But unfortunately, going back to Zimbabwe is not an option, especially now with the drought that's affecting Zambia and Zimbabwe and different parts of Africa, the floods that have happened. It's just not a good time to go back. So I'm praying that God will open the doors for me and hear my prayers, and that I'll get a call for work. And it's unfortunate because, you know, in Canada, people don't do what I do. I take anything that I get. Here, when you have my qualifications, when you have degrees and you have your HR designation and you have all these high-powered qualifications, people wait, because normally they've got a family or they've got a husband, they've got someone they can fall back on, or a wife they can fall back on. With me, I've never had that luxury. I've always had to take whatever's available. Even when I was in England, I got knocked down by a car. I used to put frankincense essential oil in my bath water to ease the pain, and I used to go to work. So I never had any sick days. I never had any vacation time. If I didn't work, I didn't get paid. And everything here has been contract. Even at Teleperformance, it's a contract. So when they let you go, they don't give you any severance. Once the contract is in, they can tell you now the contract's ended, the client pays for your wages, so that's it. So it's very sad, but unfortunately that's the way it's set up here. So I'm just praying for a break for myself, and I'm praying that things will fall into place for me. And praying for Africa and taking action. I don't just pray, I take action through the One campaign or through Global Citizen. You might say, oh, it's just a tweet, but those tweets and those petitions and everything that we do, it makes a difference and it has an impact. So that's what I did today. I was blessed. It was a lovely day. It's cleared up now. It was raining when I was going there, and it's a beautiful evening. So it's all about counting your blessings and taking it one day at a time.